a center of excellence, a nurturing space for innovation, creativity, and academic freedom. This is the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. As a constituent university of the University of the Philippines system, UPLB is a leading national higher education and research institution in various niche areas. Grounding itself on the needs of national development, UPLB cultivates well-rounded and critical leaders who are ready to lead breakthroughs and innovations. Through its industrial and academic partnerships, UPLB propagates its gains to advance inclusive development in various sectors. An educational institution that upholds honor, excellence, and public service.
A 112 years ago, the UP Board of Regents had a vision to develop their true firstborn college that will spearhead national development through agriculture. At the foot of Mount Makiling, Edwin B. Copeland, together with 7 faculty and 12 students, embarked on the journey to create the UP College of Agriculture, or UPCA. Through its 112 years of existence, the college has produced over 1,000 technologies and variety of plants and animals, 9 national scientists, over 30 outstanding young scientists, and more than 18,000 graduates contributing to agricultural development. UPCA, now College of Agriculture and Food Science, or CAFS, has been continuously contributing to nation building through its instruction, research, and extension function. A mere 10 years after establishment, the college was able to start breeding works with the production of sugarcane varieties with high productivity and resistance to Fiji and mosaic disease. In the 1920s, the importance of agriculture was intensified, and UPCA was recognized as neighboring countries began sending their students to Los Baños because of the high quality of education. In the 1930s, breeds with superior characteristics such as the Burkhala pig, Los Baños Cantonese chicken, and Philippine cattle were developed. The 1960s was a fruitful decade for research. Hapuno, a coconut cultivar often made with dessert, was pioneered and perfected. Meanwhile, the Dairy Training and Research Institute was the first in the country to freeze buffalo semen, paving the way for artificial insemination of local carabaos. Along with the establishment of UPLB in the 70s, the college received the prestigious Ramon Magsaysay Award for International Understanding, Asia's counterpart for the Nobel Peace Prize. In the same decade, the C4 plants were developed. The soil test kits were produced in support of the Masagana 99 program, and the mango induction technique was introduced. Continuing the production of quality research outputs in the 1980s, techniques to minimize post-harvest losses, the accelerated fish sauce manufacturing process, and the rapid test kit for the detection of pesticide residue on vegetables were developed. The 1990s saw many new varieties across species or crop types, including Sinta Papaya, the first Philippine-bred hybrid, UPLB Gold, a durian variety, and Doña Amelita, a musaenda named after the wife of former President Fidel Ramos. The award-winning National Corn-Based Farmer Scientist RDE Training Program, or FSTP, was also established around this time and still remains as one of the university's primary extension programs. In the field of instruction, the book titled Integrating Sustainable Agriculture in the BSA Curriculum, the UPLB College of Agriculture Experience, was published in 1999. At present, the College of Agriculture and Food Science, or CAFS, continues to be the premier institution of higher learning in agriculture and food science, and remains committed to nation building through its instruction, research, and extension programs. In order to produce the best graduates, all of our courses are outcomes-based education, and continuous improvement of the curriculum is being practiced to meet the challenges of the 21st century. As testament of excellence, CAFS is constantly recognized by different organizations. In research, we continue to implement relevant studies with focus on the 12 priority commodities to address food security. Moreover, technologies are constantly developed to aid in responsible food production. Supplementing these are extension activities to disseminate the knowledge generated to improve food productivity and livelihood of the people. We believe that present technologies will future-proof our food systems. Some of our notable developments are IDTech, Caraginam, Plant Health and Pest Clinic, Pest Management Tools and Techniques, Technology or SpeedTech, Snap Hydroponics, Drone Technology, Rapid Immunofilter Assay for Virus Indexing, Fertigrow, Formagrow, Nanobiosensors, and Biochar. We at the College of Agriculture and Food Science will continue to promote and nurture a culture with innovative yet conscientious minds and cutting-edge skills to lead and serve the country and the region. We are one college with one goal towards sustainable food systems.
May we glorify you through this webinar and anniversary activities. Amen.
Okay. To our distinguished guest speakers, welcome to PHTRC UP Lusbanios. And for the UPLB officers, Dr. Camacho and Dean Picho Advisit Jr. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us in the celebration of our anniversary. To the current PHTRC staff, young and old, welcome to PHTRC celebration of 46th anniversary. Okay, so we're almost half century. Okay, so before we proceed to our program, may we have the house rules? Okay, so you can fill out the attendance form at bit.ly. Okay, this will also be shown in our Messenger or Facebook page. And then we will be having an open forum after the presentation of our resource speakers. Should you have any questions, kindly type them in the Zoom question and answer section of Facebook comment section or through the bit.ly Fresh Talks episode 11 question. At the end of the webinar, kindly accomplish the evaluation form to receive an e-certificate. Okay. For those who are online and those who are here face to face. Okay. So to give us an opening remarks, may I call our beloved Dean, Dr. Picho Advisit Jr.
Thank you very much, Yuri. Of course, to our hardworking Chancellor, Dr. Jose V. Camacho Jr. is joining us in Zoom. To the men and women of the Post-Harvest Horticulture Training Research Center, headed by their director, Dr. Matilda P.B. Paunahan. To our speakers, distinguished resource persons, Mr. Joshua Aragon, the founder and CEO of Zagana.com, mali ang sudot ko. To our alumni, Mr. Ian Inverno, the current business head and head of operations of Healthy Options Organic Farm Business. To our friends and guests present in this place, and of course in Zoom also. A blessed good afternoon and welcome to the 46th anniversary of the Post-Harvest Horticulture Training and Research Center. It's an absolute pleasure to stand before you today as we celebrate nearly half a century of dedication to enhancing the post-harvest discipline. This occasion beckons us to reflect, recalibrate, and reinforce our collective endeavors towards envisioning and crafting a resilient and sustainable agricultural industry. For 46 years, PHTRC has been a beacon of innovation and excellence, steadfast in its commitment to continuously enhance the agricultural value chain. The center's tenure is filled with significant benchmarks that set new industry standards. The post-harvest practices you develop underscore PHTRC's commitment to preserving the integrity of our produce, ensuring that the fruit of our labor reach the consumers with maximum nutrition, freshness, and value. As we gather here today, let us celebrate our triumphs and acknowledge our growth. But let us also embrace the immense opportunity that lies ahead of us. During a time characterized by instability and unpredictable conditions, it is our responsibility to be the bearers of stability and continuity. We are tasked to develop and put into action the innovative methods that reduce food waste and drive the sector towards achieving sustainability and success. By championing initiatives that are anchored in innovation and sustainability. The goal is to establish a robust post-harvest paradigm that minimizes food loss and optimizes efficiency and vitality in every stage of the value chain. For a time now, food loss and waste have haunted our efforts to feed the world. A staggering amount of food is lost before it reaches the consumer. Food is a valuable resource, and it's our responsibility to ensure that we handle it with care from farm to table. It is not just a matter of economics, but it's also a matter of ethics and sustainability. This is a challenge that simply cannot be ignored. The good news is that we are not alone in this endeavor. Our partnerships and collaborations is one of our greatest assets in addressing this challenge. When we talk about strengthening partnerships, we are not just talking about forming alliance on paper. We're talking about a shared commitment, a shared vision, and a shared purpose. One of the partnerships we must strengthen is the one between the industry and the academia. The research, innovations, and best practices developed here must find their way into the hands of those who can implement them most effectively. Our role is not just to produce knowledge, it's to ensure that knowledge leads to action. Our industry partners, much like our distinguished speakers we have here today, play an essential part in elevating the standards of both of our research and our expertise. They bring the viewpoint grounded in the real world, the market insights necessary to make ideas into reality, and the entrepreneurial drive necessary to do so. It's a fantastic example of how academia can influence the business, while the industry can challenge academe to keep pushing the frontiers of what is possible. However, partnership can go beyond just academe and industry. Let us not forget that consumers, you and me, are at the heart of the value chain. Our choices, our awareness, and our demands for sustainable, minimally wasteful products have a direct impact on the industry practices. We find ourselves in the era where modernity is just not about leveraging the latest technologies, but it is rather a holistic approach that includes mental agility, willingness to work together, and an unrelenting determination to redefine and push the boundaries. Reflecting on the 46 years of journey,
that we have has been exciting, with all the numerous discoveries, vital ideas, and nurturing the minds that now lead the many phases of global post-harvest discipline. But it is with even more invigorating to look ahead. We are in the verge of several technological revolutions, and we, done time and again, we shall lead from the front with vigor, passion, and unwavering dedication to quality. Both of our speakers today brings unique perspectives to the table, and I hope that their insights will enlighten us all. Let us learn and engage in a lively discussion and live here today inspired to be the change makers of tomorrow or of the future. Let this anniversary be a catalyst inspiring us to transcend boundaries, cultivate partnership, and champion initiatives that resonate with impact and innovation. Thank you, and here's to many more years in pioneering research, transformative insights, and contribution to the world of post-harvest. Again, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat, and may all our dreams and aspirations come true. Hiraya Manawari to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that very inspiring and challenging words. May we be able to live up to your expectations and what the country needs. He talked about economics and ethics, industry and academics, and then the knowledge that we have charged into action. May we be able to accomplish them all. We still have another 50 years to go, especially for the young professionals around here. Okay, thank you very much. Now, we'll hear from our Chancellor, Dr. Jose V. Camacho Jr., for some inspirational message also.
Thank you, ma'am, and magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ipagpaumanhin niyo po ako na hindi po ako makapunta diyan at in between meetings po ako ngayon, but I'll be very glad to meet you personally after these meetings. But let me first greet our esteemed guest speakers. I wish I really have joined you to meet you personally. The founder and the CEO of Zagana.com, Mr. Joshua Aragon, and the business head of operations of the Healthy Options Organic Farm business, as well as an alumnus of the College of Agriculture and Food Science, Mr. Ian Invierno. And of course, the dashing Dean of the College of Agriculture and Food Science, Professor Elpidio Albicid Jr. And our, I would say, newly installed Director of the Post-Harvest Horticulture Training and Research Center, Dr. Matilde Maunahan. And to all our guests, our students, researchers, scientists, our faculty members, and employees, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. And it is indeed my pleasure to join you today, albeit online, as we celebrate the 46th anniversary of the UPLB PHTRC, with the event theme, Strengthening Partnerships Toward Food Losses and Waste Reduction and Sustainable Value Chain, which emphasizes the importance of collaboration, especially between the academe and the industry, and as we develop innovations to achieve our goals in food security and environmental sustainability. And to strive towards this vision, the center is leading a series of plenary talks regarding industry initiatives and best practices in minimizing food losses and waste, which is a part of our overall efforts to address the important issues and challenges in food security, such as those brought about by the pandemic, climate change, and other evolving market trends. And as one of the university's stalwart partners in achieving the goals in food security and sovereignty, our university, UPLB, reiterates support for PHTRC as it leads similar knowledge sharing initiatives in agriculture and platforms where we can share the latest trends and practices and identify the common areas for collaborative work. These are all necessary to not only accelerate our progress toward a common goal, but also to ensure that our development milestones are one, inclusive, and two, responsive to the needs of our stakeholders and our university constituents. And therefore, as we embark on this journey, I encourage each and everyone to listen to our resource speakers, their insights and their vision, their experience will undoubtedly inspire us. They will guide us as we forge ahead to overcome the challenges and to utilize the opportunities to create what we call a future-ready and future-proof sustainable Philippine food industry. I wish to commend the center, the PHTRC, Post-Harvest Horticulture Training and Research Center, for hosting this learning event and for the unwavering commitment to reducing the post-harvest food losses in Philippine agriculture, and by strengthening industry and institutional linkages and leading innovations in agricultural research and development. Again, my warmest congratulations to PHTRC on your 46th anniversary. Sabi po nga ni Director kanina, sana po magkita-kita muli tayo sa next na 50 taon ng PHTRC. So maraming pong salamat at mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you very much for that inspiring opening remarks, Dr. Camacho. Though you are not here, we'll take the challenge that you have given to us. Okay, so before we proceed to our proper forum, can we have a photo opportunity? May I request everyone to, sinong in charge sa photo? So, saan tatayo? Diyan or dito? Nasaan umalis na si Dean? Ayun. Picture taking, sir. Sir, dito kayo. Katabi niyo sa...
Kayo.
Tabi tayo din.
Wala ka na pala summer, sir? Lalo ko lang summer.
Pasensya na talaga din ha. At sunod-sunod, pati sa BOR.
Ding!
Ongoing pa yung BOR meeting kaya.
Okay. Thank you, Chancellor.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Okay,
Bye-bye.
audience,
Sige na, sige na.
pwedeng
Sige na.
dito yung camera, woman. Oo nga, para hindi natatayo from the chair. Ano na lang, shot na lang.
So dito kayo, paano makasama ka natin kayo?
Okay. So now let's start our proper session. It's entitled Strengthening Partnerships Towards Food Loss and Waste Reduction and Sustainable Value Chains. We have invited two persons from the private sector who are engaged in marketing of fresh fruits and vegetables, not in the traditional way as we have known it, but in a shorter and more direct way. First, we have Mr. Joshua Ruben Aragon, an MBA graduate from AIM. He's the founder and CEO of Zagana Incorporated, which was started in 2019, just before the pandemic. It consists of farm-to-kitchen platform that delivers fresh produce to your doorsteps just as fast as 30 minutes, okay? So the company goal is to establish food secure Philippines at competitive prices with or without the pandemic, while providing better livelihood to the local farmers. His previous jobs were the following, as follows. He's the e-founder fellowship program with Alibaba. He's the founder and CEO of pushcart.ph, an online grocery and delivery services based in Las Piñas. He is also a director and assistant secretary of PESA, an electronic supplier, and a corporate secretary of Cotesco Group of Company, involved in water solution provider. He's the president of Lapatronics, developed laparoscopic tool for surgeons, and research and development engineer in Orthopedic International. You may be wondering why all these gadgets in medicine, because he's a graduate of De La Salle State University with a course in BS Manufacturing, Engineering and Management with Biomedical Engineering as major. And such, he has received a Gold Thesis Award in 2011 when he graduated. And he is also with the UP, he took up water quality and wastewater treatment management from the UP and Tokyo Institute of Technology and Engineering. He has received awards like the Intel DST Pacific Challenge in 2011, and his inventions, quote unquote, were included in the top 10 technology startups in Tectonic 2017 and top 10 startups of Young Entrepreneurs Summit 2017. So without further much ado, may I call Mr. Joshua Aragon to talk about the Zagana Fresh supply chain, bridging the gap between the food producers and consumers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'd like to thank the opportunity right now to Sir Dean Agvisit, also to Ma'am Matilde Maunahan, and to Ms. Deng as well, for the opportunity to for the opportunity to speak in front of you, and also to explain our story with Forzagana. So basically, Forzagana, next slide, please. We started this in 2020. This was actually after our first Alibaba e-founder program in Hangzhou, China. So I attended the Alibaba e-founder program in 2019. We learned how e-commerce, logistics, and data work in terms of the new e-commerce in China. And the objective here is to bring the technology to the Philippines and implement it and to help uplift the lives of everyone. So one of the module that we attended in Hangzhou was in rural e-commerce. So we studied a module about rural e-commerce. We went to one of the provinces in Hangzhou. So, and then we found out why are there cars na mga Ferrari, BMW parked in front of the farms? And then we asked, who owns these cars? And they mentioned that the farmers owns it. And we were shocked how it became like that. So they were saying how the inverted triangle, how the triangle became inverted. Na the producers are the wealthy people there, rather than the traders and the other middlemen. So the technology here comes with helping them organize themselves, like clustering the provinces together, focusing on one product, and then putting up processing plants in between those provinces so that those nearby provinces can supply to those processing plants and not just sell it locally, but globally. So one thing, provinces that does it is like they do walnuts. So they produce walnuts within the beside provinces, and then there's a province that just process it. When they process it, they can it and then sell it globally, and then it became a billion yuan village. So they call it the Taobao village. So that's our mission. So when we came back, we set up Zagana in terms of uplifting the lives of every Filipinos. Here, we're bridging the gap between food producers and consumers using technology. On the 6th slide, please. So when we started, that was in 2020. We were getting produce straight from the farm in Benguet, Batangas, Pangasinan, delivering it to the restaurants. We started with wholesale. Then the pandemic hit us. Like from January to March, we were just doing wholesale. Then from March, because of the pandemic, everything stopped. Like the restaurants stopped ordering, the whole operation stopped. And then the next day, we had to pivot our business. Because if you don't pivot, then you die. So we pivoted to e-commerce. The next day, we got 1,000 orders. And then another day, another 1,000. So it continuously became a new business for us. So far, we've supplied for 2.5 years. We did 300,000 orders in terms of e-commerce fulfillment. So this is a story where we set up a shop. We created a shop in multiple e-commerce platform like Grab, Foodpanda, Lazada, Shopee, etc., and even our own Zagana website. We have our fulfillment center. So one of which was cold storages. We have 7 cold storages where we fulfill the orders. So all the farm produce are brought to the cold storage, stored there, and we fulfill within 30 minutes. Whoever orders from the platform. So that was our first business in the pandemic. So, and then after the pandemic, what happened? The learning was we wanted to share the technology to other players or to the other people because if we had the first-hand experience of how to deal directly with the farmers, how to consolidate the goods, and how to distribute it properly to the end consumers. Because imagine you have thousands of end consumers who needs the produce immediately or wanted it fresh, better quality, that the service itself. So we imagined that, can we go to the second slide? So while working on this, we said that in order for us to give more value to the people and how we will be able to still work on our mission in terms of helping uplifting the lives of every Filipinos. Ma'am, can you go to slide? Slide, yeah. So we re-innovated ourselves. We shared that technology to all the wet market players. Currently, we have 50 wet market are doing 30 minutes delivery now. So most of them, some of the wet market players, these are just vendors. When we talk to them, they were saying na kita lang namin is 10,000 to 20,000 pesos walk-in. And then when we brought the technology to them, we told them, okay, we just get a champion vendor. Like it's fruits, vegetables, meat, seafood, or even grocery stores inside those mga sari-sari stores. What they did is we made them into a champion, and they're the one consolidating the goods inside. So we created a store for them, and now they're doing 50,000 to 100,000 pesos per day in terms of revenues. So nakikita nila yung value na instead of just walk-in lang like offline sales, the online sales are increasing dramatically for them. So here we started working with B2C, which is onboarding wet market players. Now the B2B naman, we opened it up for wet market players to also supply to the restaurants. So it's a multiplier effect for them. Hindi lang sila na nakabenta online, but they also are selling wholesale now as well, which they don't have access before. Because ang focus lang nila is to sell yung mga walk-in. Now, because we've integrated the logistics, the e-commerce, the financing, nakakapag-deliver na rin sila elsewhere. And then the next is we're working on the food producers. So the food producers, these are the farmers, the processing plants, the importers, as well as whoever's working on creating value-added products. So we are now connecting them to our wet market partners who can be their partners in terms of selling the goods naman directly to the consumers. So we're removing a lot of middle layers in between. So dati, kasi it's a farmer, tapos may ahente, pupunta sa trading post, from trading post, pupunta sa wholesaler, then sa, let's say, sa Balintawak, or then to go to the retailer, then wholesale. So, ang daming nangyayari. So for this one, we're making it short, and then adding more value or adding more margins to everyone who's involved. So our goal namin is to digitize 6,000 retailers as well as enable 10,000 agribusinesses to be profitable and create 100,000 jobs. And then we're also working with the food processors for their carbon credits in the future, where they can help be net zero in the future. Next slide, please. So these are some of our fresh supply partners. Ito yung mga nasa wet market. So they're the people behind fulfilling the orders and then making sure pagbigay nila sa mga clients sila are all quality and fresh. We also work with farmer co-ops and wet market co-ops. Next slide, please. These are some of the shops that we've opened up for them. So we have multiple shops, but mostly in the wet market space. We also have pharma kasi minsan may mga butika inside the wet market, so we also enable them. Next slide, please. Next slide. So some of our wholesale partners naman, these are big cold storages where they store frozen goods, frozen and chilled goods like meat, seafood, etc. Next slide, please. Some of the hotel partners that we've supplied. Next slide. And this is one of our awards or recognition. We are recognized as a farm-to-table enabler by the Department of Agriculture under the ICADIWA. We're also part of the Office of the President under the CALAP Agri-Digital Alliance, where we help smallholder farmers tap into the big brothers, as they call it, the big producers. And we're one of the largest in terms of the highest gross revenues for Grab, for Lazada, and we're also part of the Young Farmer Challenge under Senator Amy Marcos as a judge. Next slide, please. So after this, we've encountered an equipment or an innovative equipment where we can utilize this technology to our producers. So in terms of, eto naman, this is an ozone. It's called an aqueous ozone. So it basically, it's water, air combined, and electricity that creates it also creates nanobubbles. So this technology helps sanitize, deodorize, as well as clean the produce itself. Not just produce, any surfaces and other materials. Because we've already tried it and it really works. So next slide, please. So one example is for us to create the freshest produce as possible to our clients, we are integrating different technologies. So it's more of a what we call it's a ano tawag sa it's helping our partners be more innovative through our ecosystem. So we're building that ecosystem. So from the wet markets going back to the producers where they can provide the most fresh vegetables and to supply everyone good the freshest foods. So makikita mo on this slide how produce are brought back to its freshest state is number one, you will see the wilted lettuce. Then when you added the ozone and you soak it for like 30 seconds, and then pag tinanggal mo sa water, babalik siya to its original state, which is the crispy and the freshest lettuce. Next slide, please. We've also did this to one of the mga partners namin sa meat. So, pagkakatay na meat, binababad namin sa ozone. And then paglagay namin doon we did an ATP swab test. So, you will see, yung bacteria count niya is 1,800. And then pagdating sa ozone, 0 count. So, it will make the produce last longer. So, yun yung napansin namin. It's a very innovative way of helping the farmers as well as the other food producers. So in terms of cleaning, hindi mo na rin kailangan, I will say, you don't need any chemicals anymore. Basically, just use water and then soak it in and then it cleans the products or the surface. And it makes the shelf life of the products longer. For example, we stored it in the cold storage. It will lengthen the lifespan of the produce or the meat. Next slide, please. For cleaning as well, so we did this on one of our processing plants as well, na rusted yung mga gamit nila. So you just soak it with ozone and then you scrub it. Natatanggal yung mga rust. And from that side, nakikita mo yung this one. This is very, from the left side, this is where they pack their fresh produce. And it's delivered through thousands of stores. When we did the ATP swab test, it's almost 1,500 bacteria count. In-ozone lang namin, nawala yung bacteria, became to 0, and nag-shine pa yung table. Next slide, please. So this is before and after of cleaning the surfaces as well. So madumi siya, pagkalagay mo ng ozone, it became squeaky clean. And naging rin siya, non-slip. Kasi it takes off all the coatings or yung mga oils. And then, dati you have a lot of chemicals. Right now, less chemicals as well. Like, less chemicals or just the ozone layer. Next slide, please. And then, this is one of the buildings actually in Ayala. So, they use an aircon just to make sure na hindi lumabas yung odor. So, yung ginawa lang namin, we just sprayed it, nawala yung amoy niya. Next slide, please. And then this is one of which that we used in the cold storages where they use it to clean the pallets, the crates, also the vegetables. So dami na applications and we're shocked at how it actually can be utilized. Next slide, please. There we go. So thank you for listening to our story. I'm Joshua Aragon, founder of Zagana.co. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that very encouraging and enlightening business enterprise. Siguro yung ibang researcher dito ay interested very much, no? To be part or to be involved in such research. Just for we have now about 100 people in the Zoom audience and 41 by FB. So hindi lang po kami ang nakakarinig ng inyong mga experiences, okay? So now let's go to our second speaker, Mr. Ian Inverno. The question and answer will follow after this presentation. So Mr. Ian Inverno is the Farm Business Manager of Healthy Options, will lead its exponential growth. He has assisted several MSMEs in complying with good hygiene practices, as well as before joining the Healthy Options, he is with Nestle Philippines and Jollibee Zenith Food Corporation. He's an active speaker and panelist in various conferences, webinars, forums, discussing topics on sustainable agriculture, food safety, and quality value chains of organic products. He is an alumni of this university, taking up food technology, and also a graduate of UP Diliman, taking up Master of Technology Management. At present, he is currently pursuing Diploma in Supply Chain Management. His topic is about reducing food waste across the value chain, Healthy Options case study. Mr. Ian Inverno.
Active ah. Maraming salamat. Okay. My topics food losses across the value chain, reducing food losses across the value chain. 30%. What's the meaning of 30%? 30%, we are losing 30% of our, based on Healthy Options, experience But I know industry 30% then or more ang food loss natin, especially for fresh produce. 30%. Ito yung challenge sa akin ng management when I handled the role as the business unit head for organic farm business. Bakit ang dami naming losses? Sayang. Imbis na nabebenta, nagiging pera, tinatapon lang namin, dinadala sa landfill. Kaya anong ginawa namin? That's what I'm discussing now. Okay, I'm Ian Viano, Business Unit Head of Healthy Options. Hopefully, marami kayong matutunan dito. Okay? Okay, before we go to the solutions presented to the management of Healthy Options, what we did is we mapped the value chain. We identify the problems, the gaps across the value chain. Ano ba yung mga pwede naming solusyonan doon sa supply chain natin? Sir, sorry, malikot ako. So yun, minap muna namin yung value chain. From hirap ka sa akin, no? Sige na, stay na ako dito. Okay. Okay, mapping. We did research. We created the document. Saan nagsisimula yung value chain namin? From sourcing to transportation to storage to post-harvest processing, and then delivery to the stores, business cost B2C or B2B. So yun yung ginawa namin. Pinag-aralan namin yung value chain namin. And we identified kung ano yung mga potential na solusyon o ano yung potential na mga problema sa bawat steps ng aming value chain. Problem solving pa lang to and probable root causes pa lang yung ginawa namin dito. Wala pa talaga dito yung root causes ng problema namin. What's the next step? After selecting yung mga problems, prioritizing yung mga problems and possible solutions, doon namin pinocus yung effort namin. Doon sa mga pinakamalaking possible na mabigyan ng solusyon yung problema namin sa 30%. And then we set clear goals for what? Yes, sir. May tanong po. And then we measure. Ano ba yung baseline namin? That's what 30% is. More than pa nga nung nag-start ako eh. Almost 50% nung nag-start ako. or before mag-start, yung food loss namin or fresh produce losses namin. Kalahati ng mga hina-harvest namin o binibili namin, tintapon lang namin, papuntang landfill. And this is premium products, organic products. Ang mahal ng bili namin. May premium tayo na almost 50% to 100% compared to market prices. Diba? So, ang daming pera nasasayang. Yun yung problema. And then, we created na yung problems, solutions, yung plans namin, based on the priorities on the resources. Kung anong solusyon, yung pinaka malaking impact sa problema namin. Okay, then execute the plan, and then of course, after executing the plan, so, we monitor yung progress namin, we monitor the result. Hindi ako sanay na nandito lang mag Okay, we monitor the results. After 6 months to 1 year, from 30% to 50%, wala niyo kung ano na yung naging food losses namin. Lower. 5%. From 30% to 50%, we managed to lower the food losses of healthy options organic farm business to 5%. Best number namin ay 3%. Pero hindi na namin sustain 3%. Average is 5%. 5%, laking reduction pa rin nun. Just by proper problem solving and mapping of the value chain. Okay? So, sinasabi nga nila by identifying the problem, proper identification of the problem, na-reduce na nasolusyonan mo na yung problema by 50%. Yun yung ginawa namin. Okay? And then, of course, after monitoring, successful, yung iba naming solusyon, hindi successful, balik ulit kami sa problem, baka hindi namin na-identify na tama, and then paikot-ikot yan. It's a cycle, continuous improvement. Okay? And then, after successfully reducing our food losses, of course, we need to make it public. Kailangan magyabang. Di ba? Sayang naman yung effort namin kung di namin pagyayabang. From 30% to 50%, 5%. Kaya ako nandito para ipagyabang. Joke lang. Okay? Well, of course, that's part of our sustainability program. Para mahikayat yung ibang partners, yung ibang stakeholders to do the same. Yun naman yung yun naman yung purpose by making it public. To encourage, to educate, to increase awareness of the public. Okay? Next po. This is the sustainable development goals of UN. We comply with some, we target lang, we prioritize kung ano yung pwede naming gawa ng makatulong to comply with the sustainable development goals. Mostly, no poverty because we partner with our farmers, uplifting the lives of our partners, farmer partners, diba? And then of course, zero hunger by reducing food losses and food waste. Instead na sa landfill na pupunta, pwede nang consume ng mga consumers natin. Marami pa dito eh. We can choose kung ano yung nararapat sa ating organization by identifying materiality of sustainable development goals. Okay? Ito lang yung sample ng mga main drivers of food losses and food waste throughout the food na supply chain. Hindi ko i-discuss to, but samples lang. I want to focus on the poor infrastructure and lack of cold storage. Yun yung nakita namin isa sa mga pinaka-problema ng food losses. Example, yung mga produce natin from Benguet. Yes po, may okay. lack of cold storage. Okay lang po yan, sir. Kaya natin yan. Lack of cold storage. Yung nga, from yung mga produce natin na dinadala sa Manila through buses, pagdating sa amin, lanta na, may amoy na, kulay yellow na, nag-wilt na. So, ano yung pwede natin gawin? Anong pwede solusyon yung pwede natin gawin? O tulong na pwede natin ibigay sa mga producers natin? Okay? Poor planning and stock management. Isa sa mga problema. Overstocking. Isa sa mga problema na sinolusyonan namin. Overstocking. Bakit? Minsan, natatakot tayong maubusan. Guilty ako dyan. O kaya naman, sobra-sobra yung pre-induce ng farmer. Kasi, ito daw yung malaking kita. Kaso, naggayahan lahat ng mga producers. So, at the end of the day, law of supply and demand, tumaas yung supply, yung demand, the same pa rin. So, overstock tayo ng mga, example, kamatis. So, anong pwede natin gawin sa mga kamatis na to? We'll discuss later. Lack of awareness and food waste issues. Hindi alam na marami sa atin kung ano yung mga food issues sa food waste, anong impact nito sa atin. Hindi lang sa atin, sa environment natin, sa community, and of course, sa personal natin. Okay, next po. Yan. Losses across the value chain. Ito yung sa tulong ng PHTRC, we were able to map and adjust yung mga problems namin. Ito yung training namin with PHTRC, kailan? July. So, I updated yung ano namin, yung value chain namin, map namin. Sige, tuloy-tuloy lang. Di ba? Sige, tuloy-tuloy. Ayan. So, from harvesting, transport, packing house operations, ito yung nasa commissary namin. And then, of course, storage. After namin ipack, kailangan namin store for 24 to 48 hours. Depende sa delivery schedule. And then, transport ulit, papunta sa mga stores. And of course, marketing. Sorry, sir, talaga. Okay? And then, what are the solutions we created? Number one is source reduction. We developed the food recovery hierarchy. Ito yung solusyon o yung programa na ginawa ni Healthy Options to promote or to reduce food losses and food waste. That's the food recovery hierarchy, or more commonly known as lab food, don't waste. Lab food, don't waste. So, mahalin natin yung pagkain, huwag tayong magsayang. Lab food, don't waste. Okay? Catchy, di ba? Source reduction. Ano yung mga incorporated actions dito sa source reduction natin? Number one, reducing food waste through more accurate forecasting. Na-discuss ko kanina, problema natin, oversupply, kulang ng supply, over-demand, kulang ng demand. So ano pwede natin gawin? Kailangan magtugma yung supply at demand from the source to the producers. Okay? Demand management and GIT. GIT is continuous improvement na tinatawag namin na in-implement ng Toyota. Just in time, kung kailan kailangan yung produkto, doon dapat natin na ipapadala o nasa-serve. Hindi kahapon, hindi ngayon. Ay, hindi kahapon. Hindi kahapon, hindi bukas. Diba? Just in time. Paano siya makakatulong? It reduces yung fluctuations sa supply natin and demand. That's GIT. And then, of course, collaborative supply chain. Dapat involved na yung mga suppliers natin at producers, hindi lang sa pagsusource ng produkto. Ini-involve natin sila sa product development at product design. Design development ng produkto natin. Hindi porket fresh produce, wala nang design. May design pa yan. Bakit? Kasi meron niyang transportation, logistics, packaging, paano yung exit strategy natin? Exit strategy meaning, paano kapag hindi nabenta? Ano ang dapat natin gawin? Mostly, or usually, suppliers, alam na nila kung anong gagawin. They have the expertise doon sa produkto. So usually sila yung nagre-recommend anong design, anong size ang pwedeng mabenta, anong specifications yung pwedeng ibigay sa atin. Depende sa needs natin. Okay? Or depende sa market natin. So that's cooperation, communication, and involvement of the entire value chain. Hindi lang suppliers. Actually, pati consumers. Kaya nga meron tayong focus group, di ba? So ini-involve natin yung mga consumers na natin on the product design and product development. Every month, dapat meron tayong meeting with the suppliers para ma-check natin or just to keep in touch. Hindi mawala yung partnership with the suppliers. Involve them. Ano ang latest doon sa produkto natin? What's the latest technology? What's the latest process or methods na pwede nating ma-implement doon sa produkto natin? Okay? Use of technology and packaging. Na-discuss ni Sir kanina, O3, pwedeng magamit, di ba? To lengthen the shelf life of fresh produce. By eliminating the microorganisms, pwede nating mapahaba pa or ma-reduce yung food losses natin or food waste. Okay? Use of technology and packaging, and of course, educating the value chain. Example ng educating the value chain, mga consumers natin. Paano makakatulong yung consumers natin on reducing the food losses and food waste? Proper planning. Hindi dapat sila bili ng bili pag pumunta ng grocery stores. Ano yung kailangan nila for the week, for the day, yun ang dapat yung bibilhin. Paano nila mapapahaba yung shelf life ng produkto nila? Paano dapat nila i-store yung mga gulay? Hindi porket gulay sila lahat nasa chiller or nasa cupboard. Nasa room temperature. Bawat gulay at bawat prutas merong kanya-kanyang ideal storage temperature. Diba? So dapat ini-educate natin yung mga consumers about mga storage or responsible consumption. And of course, think global and act local. Maraming losses kasi nga yung kailangan natin produkto nanggagaling pang ibang bansa. Maybe we can produce dito sa Pilipinas just by partnering with our local producers. Let's develop their capacity, their capability. Paano nila matatapatan yung quality ng imported kung tayo yung gagawa. So that's think global and act local. Ito yung mga solusyon na binigyan namin ng aksyon. That's source reduction. Next po. And then rerouting. In-implement na natin yung source reduction. Kaso marami pa rin dumating. Marami. Or nagkamali tayo ng forecast. Nangyayari yun. So, dapat meron na tayong action. Sabi ko kanina, exit strategy. What's rerouting? Kung hindi nabenta, dapat meron na tayong alternative market. Kunwari, ang main market natin ay supermarket, dapat meron tayong wet market, meron tayong processing, meron na tayong, kung B2C tayo, dapat meron tayong B2B. So dapat lagi tayong may plan B, plan C. Yun lang yung sinasabi ng rerouting. Next po. Example for healthy options. What we did. Ang dami naming fresh produce. Hindi nabenta. Nagkamali ako ng forecast. Kala ko ito yung demand. Especially for new products. Naging optimistic ako masyado, pero hindi masyadong nag-move sa market. But we prepared our alternative market, and that's the cafe of healthy options. Kung meron mga balik, dinadala namin sa cafe, doon niluluto. So free na yung, o hindi naman free, discounted yung lunch namin at mga merienda. Magkano na lang yung lunch natin? 50 pesos? Sinabi ko talaga, no? Sikreto lang pala yun. Okay? So discounted yung lunch namin. And yung lunch namin, kompleto. Merong ulam, merong prutas, meron ng kanin, ani kanin. And ano pa ba yung kasama doon? Gulay, of course. Diba? So, nagagamit namin yung mga balik, nagagamit namin yung near expiry products. So that's the cafe. Next po. Upscaling. Converting. Balik lang ako sa rerouting. Kasama sa rerouting, binibenta namin sa mga empleyado. Gumawa tayo ng baking therapy. Baking therapy meaning bake shop. So yung mga class B na dinadala sa amin, so dinadala din namin sa baking therapy as their raw materials, raw ingredients. So that's rerouting. Hindi po masa sa class A. Hindi, dali na natin doon sa mga pwedeng mag-accept na market. Next po. Converting raw materials into a value-added products. Sobrang galing nitong solusyon na to. Hindi ako yung nag-isip. Siyempre, yung managing director namin yung nag-isip nito. Upscaling. Example na upscaling. Converting yung mga, example, kamatis. Ano pwede natin gawin sa kamatis na tomato paste, ketchup? Ano pa yung mga nabalita na oversupply? Onion. Anong pwede natin gawin sa onion? Pickles. Onion pickles, di ba? Ano pa? Processing. Dito papasok yung food technology. Converting, mas malaki ang kita natin kapag value added na. Triple, usually. Up to 5 times nga eh. Yung kita kapag value added. Example po. Yung sa bake shop na sinasabi ko kanina, sobra-sobra kami ng carrots. Kaso yung carrots ay class B. Ganyan lang kalilit yung carrots. Paano ko siya mabibenta sa retail stores? So ano ginawa namin? Shredded and ginawang carrot cake. Magkano bili namin sa carrot cake? Magkano? Sa carrot cake. Sa carrot, sir. Sorry. Magkano bili namin sa carrots? May premium po kami. So, binibili namin yung carrots at ano bili natin? Nasa 200 po. Ang mahal, no? Ganun talaga. Organic eh. So, we pay premium. Basta quality yung produkto. Okay? Kaso class B to. So, magkano na lang bili ko? Discounted, syempre. Pero mataas pa rin. Above market price. Magkano bili natin? Mga around 150? 150 pa rin yan. Ganyan kaliliit. Kasi daw tag-ulan na nalulusaw daw. Hindi lumaki. So, 150 pa rin yan. Binili pa rin namin kasi kailangan matulungan ko yung farmer. Dinala na sa komisary namin eh. Alangan naman, ibalik ko pa. So, at 150, from 150, na-convert namin into 1.8. Times, mahina po ako sa math. Sorry. Ilang times yan para maging 1.8. Hindi 1 kilo yung ginagamit kong raw materials dito na carrots. Usually, mga 100 grams, 200 grams lang. So, magkano lang yung raw materials? Binukin ko talaga yun. Binukin ko talaga. Okay. So, mawawalan yata akong trabaho nito. Okay, from 50 pesos to 1,800 pesos. Di ba? Okay, ampunin niyo na po ako. Okay. Pero ito yung isa sa mga pinakamabentang cake ng baking therapy. Carrot cake. Usually mga ano no, mga fruit or vegetable based yung mga mabenta. Okay? So, upscaling, dapat we are creative. We have plans for exit strategy ng mga produkto natin. So, kung meron tayong excess carrots, dapat meron tayong carrot cake. Carrot chips. Pwede rin naman carrot chips. Kung mas simpleng carrot chips. Okay po. So that's upscaling. Next po. Marami pa rin sobra. So anong pwede pang gawin? Feed the hungry people. I-donate na lang natin kung marami pa rin sobra. Kung hindi pa rin mauubos. Feed the hungry people meaning donating to food banks and animal shelters. So we have programs kung marami talagang balik or hindi na talaga pwedeng gamitin as raw materials, yung ingredients, what we did or what we do is dinodonate na namin. Ito namin dinodonate, example ito. We partnered with National Children's Hospital and IFL, Institute for Foundational Learning, dito sa may Laguna din. So dinadala namin yung mga sobra-sobra, dinodonate na lang namin. Kunwari marami kami na doon. Pero hindi na masyado. Yung mga trimmings namin for meat, hindi pa kami nakakapag-develop ng new products doon sa mga trimmings. Ito yung mga buto-buto na lang talaga. Or yung mga sawdust, yung mga nilagari. Although we developed na a new product for sa mga nilagari, sawdust. Pero yung mga buto-buto talaga, pwede siyang gawing soup for mga dogs o mga pets natin, di ba? Pero ngayon, dinodonate na lang namin siya sa mga animal shelters. Organic. Marami pa rin sobra. Dinonate na nga namin lahat. Tapos tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung production ng mga trimmings natin. Anong pwede natin gawin? I-compost na lang. Or gawing animal feed. Diba? Pakain po. So, example for healthy options, anong ginawa namin? Diba? Malabo kasi yung picture ni Alvin eh. So, eto, gumawa kami ng compost. Oo. Hindi na pwedeng i-donate. Siyempre, tao pa rin kakain. Or baka masira yung diet ng animal. So, ano pwedeng gawin? I-compost natin. So, anong pwede mangyari after composting? Magiging lupa. And then, let's be creative. Anong pwedeng gawin sa mga compost na naging lupa? Ginawa naming urban garden. So, we are starting an organic urban garden with healthy options. R&D stage pa lang kami. Tagal kasi ni Alvin eh. So, ito yung mga samples namin. Pinag-usapan nila ito kanina, sprouts. So, mabenta yung sprouts ngayon. Sorry, sir. Adjust sila ng adjust. Sprouts. Kunwari very visible yung sprouts. Okay? Ano itong mga sprouts na to? Red beans, alfalfa, and amaranth sprouts. Sobrang in demand sa market. So, instead na kulangin kami ng supply, we are developing a new business through these sprouts and compost. Diba? New business. Yep. And then, lastly, kung marami pa rin, kinompost naman natin, ang dami pa rin sobra. Ang dami pa rin trimmings, ang dami pa rin waste. Wala na akong magagawa dyan. That's landfill. But we are open for solutions, for suggestions. Dapat target ay zero food loss at food waste. Anong pwede pa namin gawin? Black salt. Dadali na ba namin dito, sir? Yung mga namin, food loss at food waste, para di ba? the target is zero food loss at food waste. Although hindi talaga may iwasan kasi may mga trimmings po pwedeng compost eh. Ang tawag dito, moisture loss, mga moisture loss sa produce. Hindi talaga may iwasan. So that's part of our losses na. So hindi ko talaga ma-zero out. But we can reduce it to an acceptable level. Example, 1%, 0.5%? Acceptable na ba? Or 0.1%? Depende sa depende sa actual value ng losses natin. So we are developing and updating this food recovery hierarchy as we implement them. As yung map namin, ina-update at in-update kung meron kami mga bagong natutunan, may mga bagong technologies, at may bagong requirements ang market. So continuously updating, continuously improving our system. Yun yung key. That's continuous improvement. Pinapasok ko pa rin yung quality management, no? And then landfill, okay po. Okay na po. And that's it. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Hopefully may tutunan tayo.
Thank you very much for that very inspiring and enlightening work of yours at Healthy Options. I'm sure ang dami nating nakuhang ideas, ano? Before we proceed to the question and answer, sir, nakalimutan niyo po yatang, oo.
For everyone's knowledge, this is the device, yung sa ozone. So later, if there's time, we can demo it para at least first hand nyo makita how it works.
Okay. So after nito, meron pa tayong demo. Interested kami dyan. Okay. So thank you very much for our speakers who presented well their engagements with the delivery of fresh produce directly to household consumers and food waste reduction across the value chain. Okay. So now let's go to the question and answer, the open forum. Anyone who has questions about the topic discussed by our guests may either type it in the chat box or personally ask it by clicking the Zoom connections. So this will be moderated by Ms. Helen Barrios.
Okay, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat, including those viewing from Zoom and those also watching us in Facebook. So, mayroon po ditong unang katanungan. I think both our speakers may answer this question. So, how do you maintain the quality of the commodities that you procure while expanding your operations? Can we have Sir Joseph first, then Sir Ian?
Hello. Well, in terms of, now we're talking about scaling the operations. So when you start, you make sure that yung source mo, maayos yung gawa nila. They have the best industry practice. If wala silang best industry practice, then you train them. You need to ensure na proper yung number one, pagtanim nila, pag-handle nila ng produce, pag-deliver nila ng produce, at pag-store nila ng produce. So all of this, you need to make sure na praktisado nila in terms of doing it. Hindi lang siya magagawa in an instant. You need practice, you need experience. It might take you a year or two to eventually perfect it. That's why for example, when we turn to the wet market players, usually ano na sila, 10 years, 15 years, or even 20 years na nasa pwesto. So alam nila yung gamay dun sa loob, how they work, how they pack the produce, how they hand it over to the client. Kasi important sa kanila yung mga suki nila. Na pagkakuha ng suki nila, maayos yung packaging, and then talagang for good consumption. So it all boils down dun sa discipline ng tao. So even if I'm sure that for fresh options, there are galing sa retail, yung mga tao doon, if not well trained, tatapon na lang nila yung produce, nahulog sa sahig, kukunin lang, babalik lang ulit sa table. So you need to make sure may puso yung tao sa ginagawa niya. Disciplinary na talaga.
That's true. Discipline, consistency, from start to after scaling pa. But aside from discipline, dapat meron tayong proper planning before scaling up. Kung wala tayong resources, bago tayo mag-scale, for sure, papalya yung system natin. Dapat meron tayong ready na mga resources kung mag-scale tayo. And dapat laging, yung sinabi ko kanina, collaborative supply chain. Lagi nating ni-involve lahat ng stakeholders sa value chain, ensuring quality ng produkto natin. Kung producers pa lang yan, dapat kung magdadagdag tayo ng producers, meron tayong nakaset, documented procedure, documented quality standard na susundin ng mga producers natin. So pag nag-scale tayo, mabilis na, madali na yung roll-up natin. Okay? So discipline, agree, meron tayong proper planning, and of course, collaborative supply chain. Okay?
Okay, thank you po. Meron po isa pa pong katanungan dito ay siguro pwede pong sila pong dalawa ang magsagot. Applicable po sa dalawa. So, how are you able to connect with your cooperators or maybe in the case of Sir Ian, yung sigurong mga producers? Are there any noteworthy problems that you face that are worth mentioning? How did you address this? Paano daw kayo po nakipag-collaborate? Paano kayo naghanap ng mga suppliers niyo dun sa wet market? Paano kayo connect?
Well, number one, insights. You need to know who you're talking to. Ano ba yung pain points nila? So when you go to them, so there's a lot of groundworks na kailangan gawin. You don't see this in Google, you don't see this in the internet. You have to be on ground. Yun yung nakikita ko kadalasan sa mga establishments or entrepreneurs right now. Now when usually pag research tayo, internet agad. But sometimes nakakalimutan natin, dapat physically nandun tayo. Makita natin galawan nila. Like you have to observe them. You have to observe how they do, how they work. And then you create that you write down their pain points and provide them a solution. So on ground talaga dapat. Like when we went to the wet market, ang pagpunta ko doon ay observe how they do it. Nakikita ko na nakupo lang sila, walang benta, and then you're just looking at the phone. Sabi ko, why don't you utilize your time? Instead of you looking at your phone, bigyan natin sila ng work. Or let's digitize how they do things. So ngayon, online orders, tuwan-tuwa sila. Kasi yung POS na binigay namin, print lang ng print, natutuwa pa siya, parang laro, parang game. Kada print, may tumutunog, tapos pupunta sila sa mga kapitbahay nila. Now, hindi lang sila nakakatulong sa sarili nila, but sa mga kapwa nila sa wet market. So one thing is you have to be on ground, learn, talk to your partners or to your collaborators well, and observe.
Paano kami naghanap ng mga suppliers namin? Networking, number one. Dapat kilala mo kung sino yung mga producers. Example sa Benguet, dapat lagi mong kausap yung mga farmers mo. Sino yung pwede nilang ma-recommend pa? O sino yung pwede mahikayat? Ang hirap ng organic agriculture dito sa Pilipinas. Ayaw magtanim ng organic or babalik sa conventional kasi nahirapan sila mag-organic. So, paano namin to susolusyonan? Number one is the premium price. Talk to your suppliers. Identify nga yung mga pain points nila and bigyan ng solusyon. Aside from that, educating the young farmers. Dapat meron tayong succession planning. Nahirapan kami ngayon. Tinatanong kanina kung nasolusyonan na, hindi pa. Kasi medyo matatanda na yung mga partners namin. Medyo matigas ang ulo. You provide them with solutions. Kaso hindi sila sinusunod. So, yung iba sinusunod. So, depende talaga kung paano mo i-convey yung message. Paano mo makukuha yung buy-in nila. Siguro doon pa kami nahihirapan ngayon. Paano makukuha yung buy-in. So, always communicate and talk to your suppliers. Identify the pinpoints nga. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anybody, any live question from the audience? First, kindly approach the microphone, and then for documentation, kindly identify yourself also. Okay? So we have, okay.
Hello, good afternoon po. My question is for Sir Josh. So, sir, first, I just want to say thank you for presentation as it did spark an interest, especially with this ozone water technology. So, with regards to that, my question is, can you enlighten us about ozone water and how or what's in it or how does it freshen or like restore freshness to our produce? Yeah.
Thank you for that question. So, ang ozone, matagal na talaga yan. It's natural. Ang ozone is natural. Di ba may ozone layer tayo? So, how that it became about that? It's basically water and air. Tapos may electricity, which is lightning. So, kapag kumikidlat, mapapansin mo, bakit mabango yung surroundings mo? Because it's through ozone. This one, we just replicate, the founder basically replicated yung how it works naturally. He made it into a compact machine where it utilizes nanobubbles. Kasi may mga ozone na products, creates, may mga diffuser, may mga malaking bubbles. This one creates very small, as in nanoparticles. Yung mga malalaki, it will last only 10-15 minutes. But this one will last for 2 hours. Yung effectivity rate na. And the higher the pressure, the more bubbles, the higher the efficacy of the ozone. So it will kill all the bacteria, it will even viruses nakakapatay rin siya. So ginagamit nung nagawa to nung 2019 eh. So ginamit to sa mga airports in the States. They also use it for the military. So it's para sa mga soldiers, for example, nasa labas sila, wala silang dalang tubig or wala silang dalang chemicals like sanitizer or alcohol. You just bring that machine, go to the nearest river, and get ozone and convert it to ozone to clean or to spray themselves para mawala yung odor nila or yung mga surfaces na kailangan nila linisin.
Okay.
Hope that answers my question.
Kanina ko pa rin iniisip actually kung paano yung methodology ng ozone. Paano siya makakapatay? Siguro, possible yan, no? O3, inhibiting oxygen. Si oxygen, di ba, kailangan ng microorganisms para mabuhay. Di ba, yung mga aerobic and anaerobic bacteria natin. So, by inhibiting, dito talaga ako nag-discuss, no? By inhibiting yung O2, kasi nga O3 hindi na siya may-use ng mga bacteria and viruses.
Siguro. Okay. Ma'am Elda po.
Sir Ian.
Yung may question ako kay sa sa healthy options, no? Di ba organically grown, no? Ngayon, di ba pag organically grown, yung totoo, organically grown. Kasi meron din namang joke-joke na organically grown no? Hindi sa inyo. Yung di ba marami
Naman
mga
yung sa amin.
Oo, hindi sa inyo.
Yan.
Alam ko na ang suppliers ninyo may PGS, may mga ganyan, or ano talaga, certified, no? When it comes to consumer acceptability, na siguro pwedeng maging part ng para consumer education. Di ba pag organically grown, talagang hindi mo maiwasan na meron niyang may mga butas, yung may mga defects na ayaw ng consumers. Siguro yung isang nagiging dahilan kung bakit may mga rejection. Kasi in terms of hinahanap pa rin ng consumer yung flawless, yung ganyan, no? Siguro isang dapat dito sa mga organic ay magkaroon ng consumer education na do not expect a flawless, organically grown produce para yung waste, yung losses and waste ay hindi mataas. No? So meron po bang ganon na parang consumer education, ang healthy options or other organically grown shops? No?
Definitely meron po kami. Maybe kulang kami doon sa social media, but we focus kasi doon sa mga customer advisors namin. We conduct trainings doon sa customer advisors namin on how to explain yung mga organic produce na meron talagang makikita mga butas, may mga punit, may mga discolorations, some discolorations, and then they personally discuss that to the consumers, to the customers. So yun yung ginagawa namin one-on-one kasi yung CLT options more on para mga VIP kasi. So you need to discuss them one by one. Habang namimili sila ng mga produce, doon din i-discuss. And then of course we have mga talkers doon na naka-display sa mga stores natin. Nakalagay doon example, hindi ako galit nakalagay doon, kunwari sa carrots, di ba?
Yun nga,
Na
sir.
nag-split. Yes. So, ina-accept namin siya, yung mga carrots na yan. Kasi yung mga farmers namin ayaw magpadala. Kagandahan lang, yung mga consumers or customers namin, alam talaga yung mga defects ng mga organic. Ano yung mga in-expect nila ng mga possible defects or blemishes. Yung nga sa carrots, very acceptable yung mga naka-split na, naka-forking. Yes, naka-fork na carrots. So or kunwari may mga 1, 2 butas, mga 5 butas sa mga leafy vegetables natin, alam na ng mga consumers or customers natin ng organica na possible talaga yan, na acceptable yan. So medyo madali yung consumer education sa amin. But dun sa mga general public, maybe dun kami dapat mag-improve. We agree on that.
Josh, no? Kasi you're dealing with pero kayo para sa supermarket na sinasupplyan nyo. So may difference when it comes with dealing with your suppliers, integrated na market nyo versus the wet market. May difference po ba kayo in terms of quality specifications, just-in-time deliveries, yung mga ganun po na yung sa value chain talaga? Meron pong difference ang approach nyo or strategies?
Sa amin, we value data. So that's why nasa wet market kami kasi we need more data. So once we know kung ano yung volume of tonnage of dinadala sa mga wet market, ano yung ini-in nila, ini-out nila, tapos yung mga prices, then we will know kung paano ba natin i-reduce pa yung waste issues. Kasi for example, on a wet market, nagsasabi sila 2 to 3 wing van na trucks daily yung pupunta doon para maghakot ng basura. That includes leafy vegetables and other packagings or meats. So sa amin, in terms of quality, we need to make sure, number one, Yung pagpunta mo sa wet market, alam mo na agad na kahit may mga blemishes, okay na yun. Like, it's already a standard for them. So I think it's really about your target market. Kung yung target market mo hindi masyado maselan doon sa produkto, then it will fit for them.
So parang may segmentation.
May segmentation of markets, yes.
Okay.
Tapos mismo yung kung sino yung mga tindera, suki na nila, alam nila kung ano ibibigay. Kung hindi, titrim nila, tatanggalin. So there's trimming involved pa rin. As much as possible, provide, kasi everyone naman wants to have a good looking vegetable eh. So hindi mo na matatanggal yan sa sa aspect natin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ayun pa lang sa ozonated water, no? So you're doing it only for high-end markets, yung disinfection nyo, or lahat?
Lahat.
ng dumadaan
Objectively
sa Sagana?
lahat. So we
Oh.
start with processing plants. These
Okay.
are processing plants that does deliveries to, like for example, fast food chains, restaurants. Ito yung mga pre-pack or nitro-pack nila. So instead of using chlorine, kasi may mga processing plants, they do chlorine 3 times. So pagdating doon sa pag-consume ng end consumer, akala mo okay, hindi pala, it's bad for your health. So they're doing alternative way of cleaning the produce now, so using ozone.
Okay.
So water na lang, and it saves a lot of chemicals from them as well. That's number one. Number two, we are setting up this ozone inside the wet market. Number one, we're doing a pilot.
Okay.
So we're number one, cleaning the surfaces, deodorizing yung smell, so that more people will go to the wet market and act as a clean market.
Okay.
Clean and green market.
That's good.
So kasama na yung fresh produce, bababad lang nila. We have a soaking area. Babad nila yung fresh produce, mabuhay ulit.
Oh, kasi that's a good lalo yung nano bubbles na ozonated water, kasi that is more of a physical treatment than a chemical treatment. So it's safer, di ba, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, mayroon pa pong katanungan mula sa ating live audience. Maybe Ma'am Dormy?
I would like to congratulate first the two of you for yung magandang presentation. Pero eto, may question ako, and I'm very impressed dun sa pag-enjoy nila Sir Joshua sa wet market retailers sa kanilang business. So aside from adapting the digitalization system, parang ang hirap naman po, di ba, na convince them in adapting yung proper handling system. Kagaya ng sinabi nyo ngayon, mag-a-adapt na rin sila nung ozonated water treatment. Is there any premium na nilalagay sa kanilang produkto na ipinagbibili o sa inyong produkto na pinagbibili? Kasi we've worked with wet market traders. Talaga namang ang hirap pong ma-convince to adapt the technologies na ipinipresent. Ano po? Pero salute ako sa inyo dahil na-engage nyo sila sa ganitong klaseng business. Second, may quality monitoring system po ba kayo na ipinatutupad to talagang ma-monitor na, kasi I hope na dinadala din ito yung inyong brand name. So, yun po. Thank you.
Good question, ma'am. It actually starts with the public market. So the public market needs to make sure, the LGUs needs to make sure na they do this initiative, and then to make aware sa mga wet market vendors on how to utilize this. So it will come within the public markets, alam mo yung mga kusa or yung water that they can utilize. So it can be an option for them, or the wet market mismo will adapt it to everyone na gamitin. Kasi ito naman, this is a device for the facility. And then the rest will be for, it will be two types, for cleaning and for sanitizing of the fresh produce. So that's one. It will be integrated within the wet market. Number two, ma'am, is the tama handling, ma'am, or monitoring. So, how would you know yung end result? So, we always start with ano ba yung end result natin. You need to reduce the number of trucks taking out the mga waste. Kasi that's how we would reduce the waste reduction. So, how will we reduce the number of trucks na titimbang natin yung mga tinatapon ng mga gulay, ng mga meats, or fish itself? I think that will be our monitor of success or yung criteria natin. Actually, this device lang naman is just a one-time payment eh.
All the management, handling management practice there. That goes with ensuring that your products are of quality.
Right now, ma'am, kung ano yung ginagawa right now, yung pa rin, status ko. Kasi it's really hard to make them bigla na lang mag-adapt or mag-change sila ng behavior. So slowly, like for example, alam mo when I went to China, in their wet market, lahat kung ang naka-Alipay or GCash sila. So lahat ng nila, cashless. First time ako naglabas ako ng pera. Tinanong sa akin, ano yan? Sabi ko, pera. Sabi niya, ngayon daw ulit sila nakita ng pera. Kasi lahat nga naka-digital. And that's 10 years na. Ginagawa nila 10 years ago. So, nagulat sa may pera akong dala. So, ngayon, everything's like digital. They even have a monitoring like a TV that monitors all the prices para hindi kayo mag-iba-iba yung price. Para naka-standard. So, we just pay GCash and then mag-print, bigay sa yung produce, and okay na. And then their wet markets sobrang linis talaga. So what we want is to have that future na green, everything's digital, safe lahat kasi there's no more contact of giving money involved. So, and then quality-wise, eventually it will catch up to them. Kung ano nakikita nila na ginagawa best practice, susunod at susunod sila. That's why yung part namin, now we slowly digitize one part, then slowly it will have a ripple effect. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Si Sir Arvin, mayroon daw siyang katanungan.
Hello po. So, I'm Arvin Joshua P. Barlongo. I am a teaching associate here at the Institute of Crop Science. And during the pandemic as well, I was one of the Youth for Agriculture Young Farmer Challenge awardees from Region 1. So, I also have a startup. And I am currently taking my master's in horticulture and I'm minoring in agribusiness management and entrepreneurship. During the mid-year, I was taking this course, management, in the NTREP 271, and we learned there that the trend of e-commerce. I was actually reading a book during that time by Winston Damarillo, and he discussed there the significance of curating and not creating here in the modern world. And that was manifested by Jack Ma, which is the founder of Alibaba. So my question would be, what are the challenges that you face going into the e-commerce industry? Since I am also planning to somehow start some aspect of my startup in that way. Sir Josh.
Well, there's a lot of challenges, but you have to focus on 3 parts. Number 1, you need to get the right people. When you have the right people, you get the right process in place. When you have the right process in place, you automate all the processes. And that's for you to scale. It's that 3 things that you have to focus on. There's a lot of aspects pa, pero sa sobrang dami, baka ilang araw tayo dun. You know, when we studied in Alibaba, what they call it is 996. 996 is 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Doon kami nag-work or like we study. And then Monday to Saturday. Kaya 996. yung tawag nila. O, hindi na kami umuwi. I know 24/7. Thank you. So if you want to be successful, dapat ganun yung working habits mo.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
well.
Ma'am. Ma'am, kailangan mo tanungin kay Ken. Later, ma'am, we will give the prize. Kay Ken Lin. Presyong kaibigan, ma'am. May student discount.
Actually, sir, mayroon din ditong similar katanungan eh. How costly is the operation of aqueous ozone? How much is the return on investment? So, related dun sa question ni Ma'am Dormy. So, sabi niyo later. So, any more question? Okay, so let's have Lexi. Ma'am Pearly first. Okay.
Okay, I'm Pearly Nuevo. Dito rin sa pero retired na. It's just a comment for the healthy options because you were mentioning about reducing zero into a zero wastage. And I think yung sabi mo, hindi naman pala na-reduce masyado. And then you mentioned about the itong sa fertilizer, organic fertilizer. I think maybe it would help if you use yung yung sa warm
Yes.
anong tawag? African night crawlers.
Yun po yung next steps namin
Okay.
sa Vermi.
So I would like to mention about it.
Kami nakakabili nung vermicomb ng African Nightcrawler.
I had that first African night crawlers when I was a resource person in Rizal. May nagtitinda dyan ng mga yung soil vermi, yung bumili ka ng soil na yon and then put it in a drum and put all the trimmings of your vegetables and for sure dadami yan. Meron na yan because there are so many eggs. At saka yan sila mga hermaphrodite yan eh. So until now, meron pa rin ako hanggang ngayon. How many years back na yan?
Ngayon ko lang po nalaman, mas mura yun.
Yeah, actually, you can buy it. I think at that time, it was only 300 pesos yung isang pack na ganyan. And then you can use that. You don't even have to buy the adult because you can produce from that pack of soil. Yeah, you can use it. Pwede mo na ngayon, marami ka na ngayon pet.
Noted pa, dadaan po kami mamaya. Pero yung sinasabi ko kasi sa zero na food loss, hindi talaga namin ma-zero out kasi talagang yung mga moisture loss pa lang eh. Of course, mga wilting. I'll try yung ozone. Maya din.
Okay, any more questions from the audience? Lexi?
No.
Hello po. Good afternoon po. My name is Lexi at yung question ko po ay for Sir Josh. And po, have you conducted tests if ozone water affects the nutritional properties of the produce? And yung, for example po, does it also eliminate beneficial bacteria? Ayun pa. Yun pa yung question. Thank you po.
Hirap na ng question niya. Well, from the scientific, it kills bacteria. Yung mga beneficial like probiotics, yung mga ganon. I'm not sure siguro. Most probably it will as well. Oo. Pero when we put ozone, it becomes sweeter. Yung taste ng kasi fresher eh. Pag babad namin, magkakaroon ng bubbles. 'Di ba may mga nada bubbles? Pero sa kanya, lumalaki yung bubbles kasi natatanggal yung mga pesticides. Kasi di mo maiiwasan, you put chlorine pesticides, halo-halo na sa and also yung mga dust, mga hindi mo nakikita. Nandun eh, nakastock yun sa loob eh. Pero pag binabad mo, tanggal lahat yun. Yun lang masabi ko, natatanggal lahat ng mga may like even formalin, formalin, yes. Dapat matatanggal, oo. Makikita mo yung ano, if we have a vegetable here, baka pwede natin makita na yung oil natatanggal rin. Oo, so pag ano mo, pag okay mo, pwede na i-consume. Yes, ma'am.
So, since nakatanggal nga siya yung mga harsh chemicals, how do you dispose ozone, yung used ozone water nyo, and does it not contribute parang as a pollutant to the environment? Ganyan?
Good question. So, you use water, input niya water, labas niya water rin. So, ang ozone sa effect hanggang 2 hours. Pag nawala na yung ozone, water na lang siya. Yung mga chemicals, natanggal niya yung chemicals. It goes to the water rin, oo. That's part of the cleaning. Maybe Ken can also answer. Ken naman, he's from Clean Safe. They're into the water and sanitation business.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kenrick Lim. I'm from Kenley International Distribution Inc. We bring in liquid O3 for the Philippines. So we work with Sagana in order for yung mga produce nila to last longer and the shelf life, even not for fresh produce, but yung meats and seafoods, it will have longer shelf lives. So this is patented in the US. So it's been used by the US military during kunyari mga wars because ang problem nila, di ba, ngayon ginagamit mga chemical war, sa Gaza. Paulan sila ng mga, yung mga bata, sulog-sulog yung balat. This is yung ginagamit na for disinfection. Para hindi mag-spread yung disease or para mamatay yung mga bacteria. So basically, ang ozone technology, ang difference ito, may desiccant sila. Itong desiccant na to is used for oxygen concentrator. Diba tandaan yung pandemic, nagkaubusan ng mga oxygen tanks sa mga hospital. So ang pumapalit yung mga mechanical oxygen concentrator. Ito yung desiccant na ginagamit nila. This one filters yung mga dust sa air vapor and water vapor and oil vapor to produce 99.9% oxygen. So when they produce the oxygen, they split up the atom using the reactor inside. They produce O3, tatlong atoms ng molecules ng oxygen. Then they combine it with water to produce O3, ozone water. That's how they kill yung mga bacteria. Because yung bacteria attracts sa oxygen, sa ozone, sa O3. Then pag ano nila yun, the O3 evaporates, it becomes air. Then yung water naman, just O2, H2O na siya. So walang residue siya. So ibig sabihin nito is completely safe to be ingested. Kasi sa US, this is approved by the USDA and even for FDA for paglinis ng mga fresh produce. Yun. So even for, hindi lang to panlinis mga fresh produce, but ginagamit din siya for sanitizing and disinfecting. Meaning, disinfecting, ibig sabihin, you reduce carbon footprint because of using chemicals. Kasi if you use chemicals, yung residue, meron pa rin residue yan eh. It will be released in the environment. So ito is EPA, yung company to is EPA accredited siya. So meaning that wala talang harmful chemicals na lumalabas sa environment. So they can use it.
So when you wash the vegetable na may chemical, saan papasok yung chemical na tinatanggal?
Wala na. Tatanggal sa ano na yan.
Sa water.
Sa water na yan. Oo, sa water na siya. Yes, oo. Polluted. So, kunyari sa mga ano, that's why meron sa mga, kunyari mga establishment, you have STP, you have wastewater treatment. Doon dumadaan bago siya i-discharge sa ano eh. Diba? Because the LLDA controls the whatever water you discharge. Hindi naman dapat zero, but they have maintained, may parameters sila in order you to pass the test na para i-discharge sa environment.
So the product does not contain a chemical.
No.
That's what
Yes.
treated.
Should be treated, yes. Oo. Kaya sa chemical naman, medyo konti lang yan. Unless yung ginagamit pong chemical sa mga establishment, like you're using degreaser, you're using soap, multi-purpose cleaner, stainless steel cleaner. Ang daming mga cleaners yan eh. Most of them are chemically ano. So with this one, hindi mo na kailangan. You just, instead of you're using it, mga chemicals every day, baka once a month ka na lang gagamit ng mga ganun for general cleaning. But for maintenance, you can use this machine. So basically, because this is new technology na we want to bring in here sa Philippines eh. Kasi yung we're into sanitation business and also we sell yung mga dishwashing, ganun din. Marami talagang nalalabas na, like for example, yung mga pag natapos mo na yung gamitin yung empty gallons, ano gagawin mo doon? It will add up to plastic waste eh. Right? With this one, you don't need na eh. Wala ka nang iisipin eh. So for properly maintenance, if we are going to push with reducing carbon footprint and everything na to be safe and economical, yan yung ano. But there's always an investment. Ang investment mo dito is long term. Because the machine, hindi naman masyadong, ano siya, once you, is using gravity lang naman yan. Once you connect mo lang siya sa faucet, basta may tamang pressure lang, usually pressure niya is dapat 40 to 80 PSI eh. Para ma-reach yung optimal level ng ano niya. Para paglabas ng ozone is nasa, yung efficacy niya 100%. So you have to use it within 2 hours or 2.5 hours to maintain the efficacy. So ang ozone water is 50 times more powerful than regular bleach. Kunyari mga zone rocks na ginagamit nyo, this is more 50% more stronger. But safer. Yes. So ito rin minsan during COVID sa US, mga ibang hospital, if ever they have COVID, kaya yung mga cases sila doon parang baling-wala lang eh. Kasi they use ozone to spray on their throat. Diba? Kasi our company always source products that's usually parang sustainable and environment friendly. So during pandemic, we source mga disinfectant na salt-based, nakakapatay, but corrosive naman. Hindi naman pwede sa equipment. This one naman is pH 0 siya. So non-acidic. Pwede mo siya gamitin hugasan sa mga stainless steel. It will not corrode. So now lang namin siya nahanap. So pag syempre if ever lahat kaya, tapos yung mga host pa ginamit dito, lahat dito food grade. So no ano siya talaga. Tapos aluminum construction. So hindi siya magra-rust in the long run. It will ang pinapalitan mo lang naman ito desiccant eh. Parang every 400 hours you have to change. Basta kung medyo basa-basa na siya, ibig sabihin kasi pure moisture na siya eh. Hindi na siya maging effective. So kailangan mo na siya palitan para to produce a very potent O3 water.
Maraming salamat. So, maybe isisingit ko lang muna tong question from Facebook, no? So this is still in relation to the use of liquid ozone. So sabi po niya, very interesting po yung paggamit ng liquid ozone. Paano po magiging sustainable financially and na-envision niyo po ba kung paano pa siya magiging widespread sa industry to reduce food losses like you po? Additionally, yung sa paggamit po ng meat, gamit sa meat, nakaka-apekto daw po ba sa other qualities ng meat like texture and color? Yun. So, okay. Siya magpo-promote ng...
So basically, ang investment po noon dyan is yun, how much are you paying for your chemicals? Like for example, for your chlorine tablets in order to or yung mga dishwashing or multipurpose cleaning agents ang ginagamit mo. If you can do away that, kunyari, per month, you're using 10,000 or 5,000 pesos worth of chemicals. This one, kahit na mag-maintain kayo per month, baka 1,000 pesos ano mo. So yung savings na yun per month, but this one is long term. So yung initial investment mo lang mataas. Like for example, di ba uso ngayon mga Kangen water? Yun for health, For Kangen water, for household use, how much is it already? It's already 190,000 to 200,000 just to have it in your, nakakonect lang sa sink nyo yun na yun, di ba? Tapos yun medyo acidic pa yun. But this one is pH 0. So, this one, yung ganun kalaki, is for industrial to. But we have for smaller units, more cheaper, for mga home use or sa mga industry na hindi naman nagre-record na ganun kalaki unit. Yun. Kasi dala lang namin to kasi because we held a demo sa isang cold storage facility or processing plant because they need it. They were using chlorine tablets to soak, yung sabi ni Josh, to soak their vegetable para malinis lang yan. So kayo, hindi niyo alam na binebenta pala sa market or kinu-consume nyo na may chlorine tablet. They're using chlorine tablet to clean their vegetable. Ito, we're introducing this one. Wala nang even for the crates, yun sa crates na ginagamit ng vegetable, we try to use it to rinse it or to wash it using O3. So lahat ng oily nawala siya. Tapos we did an ATP test. So may parang 1,800 colonies ng bacteria. It went down to 300. So ang laki ng drastic change. Yan. So parang kasi like for example, sinasabi ni Ian dahil yun sa mga from farm to stores kayo, di ba? Ang daming cost niyan, di ba? Proper handling, transportation, labas sa cold storage, patok sa truck, change of temperature. Siyempre, magkakaroon ng wiltage or nag-affect talaga sa vegetable yan eh. So, ito, sa store, pwede kayo mag-spray na. At least sa store pa lang, makikita mo yung vegetable is mabubuhay pa siya. Parang instead of 3 days ang would last, baka 1 week it will last in your refrigerated display. Yan, parang ganun. Sige. The quality of meat, definitely first is, alam mo fresh yung produce mo. Kasi bakit? Lalo na pag meat, may bacteria, mabilis mag-molds ang meat. Diba? Pag hindi mo siya malinis mabuti, pag tinago mo na siya agad sa ref, or hindi mo siya nalagay sa freezer, definitely after an hour or 2, bacteria will grow. But with this, it will kill the bacteria. It will lessen or prolong the shelf life of the meat. Instead of, baka after 2 hours, magkakaroon ng bacteria yung meat mo. Ito baka after a day, saka lang siya magkakaroon ng bacteria. So, ibig sabihin, magagamit mo pa rin siya. So, lalo na pag sa wet market, yung inaano namin ni Josh. Actually, we're going to discuss this with the DA or paano eh. So, sa wet market, kunyari, mga meats and produce. Hugasan lang nila yan para pag uwi, pag bili ng customer, malinis na. Hindi na nila huhugasan, di ba? Parang, kasi ang problem naman sa atin dito is talaga yung mga nasa market, farmers. Because they're not, sabihin na lang natin totoo, na they're not properly educated. Di ba? Kasi, ano sila eh, mahirap eh. Yun lang yung kaya nilang kabuhayan, farmers eh. Kaya sinasabi na ni Ian, bakit hindi matigas ang ulo ng mga matatanda? Kasi yung mga anak nila, ayaw na maging farmer. They want to work in an office. Ayaw nila magtanim na eh. Kaya makikita yung mga farmers natin, bakit mga organic, ayaw nila mag-organic? Because why? Mahal ang investment. Sustainability mahal. Mahal ang technology for organic food. So they will try to do with conventional way of farming. Because mas mabilis sa kanila, nakasanayan nila, and cheapest. Wala nang monitoring yan. Basta tanim, hinday sila ani, put pesticide, gano'n na. Tapos benta na lang sa hindi na sila kailangan mag-monitor ng temperature, quality ng water. Wala na silang pakialam. Kaya lahat ng organic food dito is mahal. Tapos kung may isang nagsasabi mga organic dahil marami rin butas-butas or deformation or ganun, because it's how they are produced. Hindi siya up to par of that technology. Ginawa lang, parang sinabi lang, okay, no pesticides, no para maging organic na siya. Parang masabi ng organic. But when you go to other countries, yung organic produce sila is mas malaki pa sa regular produce. Mas maganda pang quality. 'Di ba pag organic? Kasi like for example, hydroponics. Lahat yung monitor yun eh. But in our case, medyo malayo pa tayo. We need really the government should really need to put an effort if ever they want organic or para yan. Kung wala, yun, mahirap. Malayo pa talaga.
Maraming salamat, sir. So, medyo masaya yung discussion. So, maybe one more. Anyone else na you want to ask questions here in the live audience? Okay, so thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon. So thank you very much po sa inyong mga presentations. So to be honest po, nung nakita ko po yung mga presentations nyo, tuwang-tuwa po ako ma-witness po yung mga ginagawa niyo po sa inyong operations. Kasi po yung one of the biggest problems po sa agriculture, yung tinuturo po sa amin sa college is yung sa technology adoption. So when I saw po na yung mga value chains niyo po both ay parang they seem very harmonious po, yung mga players niyo po ay very receptive po sa mga new innovations niyo po regardless kung sa marketing po or new digitized solutions. Parang tuwan-tuwa po ako nakita ko po ito yung mga to. So my question is po, actually medyo po sa policy making perspective po ito. Kasi po one of the key issues po ng Philippine agriculture right now is technology adoption. Sa inyo po, paano po mape-prevent yung mga problems sa technology adoption? Of course, basing po on your experiences po, or how do you increase po yung technology adoption given po na marami po mga Filipinos ngayon ay merong pagka-resistant po sila sa mga new technologies. Yun po.
When talking with our partners, farmers, ang una nating isipin, what's in it for them? Paano sila magbe-benefit? Once you targeted yung benefit for the farmers, mas madali na yung adoption actually. Mas alamin lang talaga. Talk to your partners and alamin kung ano yung makakabuti sa kanila. Paano sila magbe-benefit doon sa technology na yun.
So every technology, no, it goes to a flexing point dapat. So tama sinabi ni Sir Ian, and what will benefit them? For us, when we're trying to we're trying to introduce digitalization to the wet market players. Una, siyempre naglalaro sila ng phone. So, tinatamad sila, ayaw nila, ano yan? Hindi, ayaw ko na gawin yan. Kasi tinatamad sila eh. Parang, okay na ako dito, sa pwesto ko, bakit pa ako mag-innovate? Well, it's simple as telling them lang na, gusto mo ba kumita ng mas marami pa? So, sometimes, yung, parang you put a carrot, tapos pag kagat nila yan, tuloy-tuloy na yan. And then, the digitalization in the future will become a part of them. Kasi once they got a piece of it, hahanap-hanapin nila eh. And then they will learn how to do it, they will learn how to adapt, and then eventually, ganito pala yung nangyayari, and then nakikita nila yung benefit. So they will be more interested in utilizing technology. So I think that's one thing. And then, for example, let's talk about blockchain. Ang blockchain, we're talking about crypto, we're talking about, there's a lot of, di ba, mga applications. So, minsan, you don't know you're already using blockchain dun sa paggamit, sa pag-payment, sa paggamit mo sa e-commerce. Di mo alam blockchain na pala yun. Pero ang alam mo lang, paano gamitin. So sometimes, technology is at the back end. Nasa likod siya, hindi na nakita. So you have to explain it at a layman's term. Ito, tutulungan ka namin para kumita mas malaki. Ganun lang. You don't have to explain so deep sa kanila kasi they will not understand it, or sometimes sa sobrang daming information sinabi mo, they will just say next time na lang.
Okay. I think we have to end the question and answer. But we thank you for our speakers. We learned a lot. Marami tayong natutunan, di ba? Parang the other side of post-harvest. We have the technical, and then this is the business side and the networking. Okay? So now we'll have the presentation of certificates for our guest speakers. May I call on Okay, so this is for the guest speakers. Certificate of appreciation is awarded to Mr. Joshua Ruben Go Aragon for sharing his knowledge and expertise as a resource speaker on Zagana Fresh supply chain, bridging the gap between food producers and consumers during the PHTRC's 46th anniversary webinar held on October 26th at the PHTRC Annex Training Room. Kita ba? Ay, oo nga. Sorry. Pati buko pa eh. May buko pie pa po. May buko pie pa po. Sir, isa pa. Okay, the next certificate of appreciation is awarded to Mr. Ian June Lord, C. Invierno. For our dean, we have a gift, a ano, fruit basket ba yan? Yes, sir. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, so now let's go to the finale. The closing remarks to be given by our director, Dr. Matilda B. Maunahan. Ma'am.
Okay. Hindi raw matatapos pag wala yung closing kasi inopen. Nakatingin lahat yung mga dating director, oh. We have here 5 former directors na napaka-supportive every time. So, hindi man ko maabot yung inyong mga ano, yung category nyo. We're trying. So, good afternoon not only to those present here personally. Of course, shout out sa lahat ng online participants. Maraming salamat for always patronizing our seminars. Pag wala kaming seminar, nagme-message sila kung kailan daw yung susunod. So maraming salamat po for joining us today. And nagsi-CR pa yata yung iba namang mga resource persons. But our deep appreciation first kay Chancellor who really made it a point na mag-live via Zoom nung kanyang message. And then si Dean nag-visit for may batting average na si Sir, lagi yung present. And today, he stayed with us until the end of the program. I think he learned a lot from the resource persons. Ano, Sir? So, kita nyo naman, Sir, yung mga naiimbita natin. Nagmalaki pa. And of course, to our dear speakers for going out of their way to be with us in person. Finally, lalo na si Sir Josh, kasi yung aming training last Feb or January, ano talaga, sila lumalabas, kami hindi makalabas kasi, Sir, hindi pa tayo nag-100% nun eh, bawal lumabas eh. So, one of our first online trainings, and may utang pa kami sa kanila kasi dapat binisita ng ating mga engineers and the multidisciplinary team yung kanilang hub. Mukhang ang dami na nangyari. And then when I communicated with him via messenger, sabi niya, ma'am, ano na, yung wet markets na po ang gumagawa nung dati nilang ginagawa. So, for a span of how many months lang, ganun na, kagrabe. So, we commend you for that, and we're very happy to be part of your journey. Sana meron din kami na contribute doon. And so, na-share nila sa atin yung kanilang individual journeys ng kanilang mga companies in bridging the gap between the fresh producers and the consumers. And eventually, nakatulong sa reduction of food losses and waste. Towards sustaining yung value chains natin, which is our common goal. So, it's been barely less than a year since itong partner, kasi yung ating title, yung team natin ay yung strengthening partnerships in value chain. So, we consider them partners na talaga, although pareho yung pinanggalingan ng ano nila the need, their desire to get more knowledge na kanila rin namang isa-share doon sa kanilang mga clients and mga suppliers. So, their quest for knowledge and proper handling of fresh produce from the farm. And then, today, we heard them share with us naman new and innovative ways of doing things. No? So, marami tayong natutunan sa kanila, and we hope that yung online participants natin learned a lot from this particular event, and we look forward na magkaroon pa tayo ng mas marami pang ganitong klase kasi usually, Sir, yung mga nagagawa namin mga trainings, marami rin mga webinars na kinundak under the College of Agriculture, kalimitan medyo technical. Ito, kakaiba. So, I think lalo na yung ating from the audience or the online participants will appreciate this side of industry, academe, partnership. Ayan. And so Sagana shared with us yung evolving and expanding business enterprise, facilitating scaling by way of maximizing the use of technology in order to work on logistics, e-commerce, and financing. And then healthy options naman, yung pinaka battle cry nila will be Love Food Hate Waste program, which is very much sounding like UN FAO, no? So, yun yung, lalo na sa Europe kasi, yung sinasabi natin na ginagamit sa restaurants yung talagang doon, they have niche markets for ugly produce, fresh fruits and vegetables, but ugly sa ating kasi nga, di ba sa post-harvest, ini-standardize, in-size, yung mga off-tangent, meron talagang niche market doon. And then, there are niche restaurants also na nagsaserve noon. So, I believe that we are all here not by accident or just by chance, but for a purpose. And the twin causes of food loss and waste reduction and sustained value chains towards contributing to food and nutrition security to help address hunger, malnutrition, and SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. And we can say that the seed has been planted and is now growing through partnerships with each one of us, each player or actor, with his individual role to play well. Sinama natin yung well, hindi lang just to play it. We are fortunate to have met and worked with progressive partners in the likes of Sagana and Healthy Options in spreading the word, the so-called gospel of proper post-harvest handling to help reduce food loss and waste, which is, this is our anniversary. This is the very reason why this particular center was established. The very reason, because in 1977, the United Nations General Assembly resolved to have food losses. Like, kung ibabalik natin ngayon, parang ito rin yung battle cry ng UN SDG 12.3 na have the need to have global food waste at the retail and consumer levels and reduce food losses along the chain, including post-harvest losses. So, in sync pa rin tayo kahit like 1977, we're celebrating our 46th anniversary, and after 46 years, eto pa rin yung so it's all over. Hindi naman tayo isolated case, but that's a real problem. Siguro yung recognition lang mas kakaroon ng attention ngayon in the global arena. So to everyone, to all, before I forget, to all the men and women of PHTRC who made this possible, I cannot thank you enough. Way to go, team. And to everyone, again, maraming salamat po sa lahat. And let's continue our partnership and go spread the word. Reduce food loss and waste, and let's enjoy whatever we have. Okay, so with that, we say thank you, everyone. Resource persons, everyone online and in person. And let's continue this partnership.
Okay, before we leave, may I have the e-certificates to be filled up so that you will have a certificate of attendance. And for those online, you may answer the questions by following this code. Okay, so thank you for your time in attending our 46th anniversary celebration. To our guest speakers, our office is happy to help you in technical ways, okay, so that your post-harvest losses may be minimized. Happy 46th anniversary to everyone. So, yung mga interested sa short demo noong... Oh, dito na lang po. Okay, okay. Meron po palang konting food. May konting merienda for those who are hungry.
But they are going out. Kasi pag speech, stationary sa isang mga artists. Hindi na speech. That's organic. Oh, and you're giving them organic.